So we are here with another little slice of life here at Fully Charged USA, and I have snuck into a BMW. I mean, not what you would expect. You see me, I'm driving an i3 and I've got a Kia Niro, but this is really the kind of thing I like to be in. Mine Morris Minor, not so electric right now, not so moving right now, so I can't drive that for a classic, but I've managed to sneak a ride here with Mark from Moment. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. It's a 1970 BMW 1600. And what we've done to it is what we do as a company is we convert these classics to electric vehicles. So we take out the combustion engine and we've replaced it with a electric motor with about 185 foot-pounds of torque and about 165 horsepower. So the interesting thing that you're going to find out is that we mate that up to the original transmission. So you get to drive this just like BMW intended you to drive this car, but it's a little bit more powerful, a little bit more fun, and it's kind of an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, so I understand this was not an exciting turbo. This wasn't like a high trim level. This is just your basic.
Exactly.
And now it's a bit quicker.
It is a little bit quicker. Yes. So that's the great thing about what we do is that we're able to take a car that wasn't maybe the highest option car, because most of those options and the rarity of them have to do with the engine and the drivetrain. And so we're able to take a car like the 1600, which is just a small little 1.6 liter and maybe made at 80 horsepower or something like that, and we're able to take that car and make it into something truly enjoyable. And also we're making it much more forward-thinking, something that you can drive with pride and pleasure and feel responsible about what you're doing instead of burning a bunch of fossil fuels in a 50-year-old drivetrain.
What would you say is like the most important thing for people to take away from the idea of converting an electric vehicle? What are the challenges that come up?
It isn't a trivial operation, but at the same time, what we're doing is fundamentally simple. We are replacing the internal combustion engine with an electric motor. And so the big challenges are things that we've focused on as our company to try to make this as repeatable and applicable to as many cars as possible. We've made some very modular motor mounting systems and adapter plates that allow for this to fit into just about any classic car that's out there. And then we're able to mount that motor in the original engine bay and, like I said, hook it up to the original transmission. And then it's really just a challenge of where can you fit the batteries, right? So the batteries are incredibly they're bulky, they're square, they are heavy, and we need to put them in the car where we have the most space and we have enough. We have them in the spots in the car where we maintain the original weight balance of the car. So we're trying to preserve that classic driving experience of this vehicle, and so you don't want to put all your batteries in the trunk and have a lightweight little motor up front. It's going to be a very dangerous and strange handling
make for an exciting handling.
Exactly. So we have another modular battery system that allows us to put as many as we can in the right spots to maintain the weight balance, and it allows us to be able to do that in cars with different shapes and different sizes where the space allows and the layout allows. So it's fundamentally a simple, approach to doing this, but it is challenging from an engineering perspective.
So if you have someone come in with their car that they've had for 10, 20 years, what kind of advice would you give them?
So I think that's, this process is not a cheap process. There's a lot of expensive componentry. So really, we want the end result to be as enjoyable and as exciting as possible for the customer. This should be a car that they're extremely passionate about, extremely excited about. It should be one that just really makes them have an ear-to-ear grin every time they walk out and see it in the parking lot. So we really, kind of first and foremost want to make sure this is their car. This is their as we say, moment. And the reason that I named the company Moment is because I think if you're a car person, there's a moment that you become a car person. It might be the instant you saw that car that you fell in love with. It might be a family member always had a car that you remember fondly. Whatever that is, I want these cars to be your moment for our customers. And so as long as they've picked that vehicle, we want to start with the best possible example as we can. So in the end, you put an investment in this vehicle. You want to be proud of it. You want it to be something that you are proud to share with individuals. And so I think that it's important to have the quality and the appearance of the car to feel
So,
good.
so you want to be starting with a solid base. You
want
don't
a
want to
solid
be
base.
starting with a car that's like a rust bucket
Exactly.
that someone's driven into the ground,
Exactly.
and then they're like, oh well, maybe I should fix it.
Right.
It's not going to be.
It's not
That's not your moment. Your moment is get the car to a good, solid structural condition, and then start.
And then doing that. Exactly. Now, we can actually shepherd the car through that process. You know, the Mini that you saw was something that owner had always wanted. She always strove, you know, to find a classic Mini that she could have restored, and she loved the idea of it, but she knew it was mechanically beyond her capabilities. And so when we were able to bring her an electrified version, it hit all the right buttons for her. And so we shopped around and found the perfect little surf blue Mini for her, and did part of the restoration for her as well as the conversion. And in the end, she's got a car that she absolutely adores and loves to drive. So that's the goal.
And moving forwards, I think there's a real shift in the world to, particularly for people who live in cities, to clean air zones where you cannot drive.
Right.
If you take this car into London, you are going to be paying a fortune.
Right.
And to be able to do that and have the enjoyment of still having your classic car, this beautiful piece of design, and get to enjoy that every day. It's like having an artwork you can sit in and enjoy every day.
That is exactly right. And I firmly believe that these are art forms, right? There's a reason that we see them and instantly react to them and love them in the way that they do. They're iconic cars that have been around for decades, that have held their shape and held that appeal for so long. And to be able to keep these rolling works of art on the road is, I think, a privilege. It's really exciting to be able to do that. And I think it brings joy to not just the driver, it brings joy to, you've driven a classic car and you pull up and people go, oh, look at that, what year is that? Oh, I love it, it's beautiful.
I had one of those.
Exactly,
My
and
mum
they tell
had
this
one
story.
of those,
And that is the experience that I think is the most kind of quintessential classic car, experience. And to be able to have that and to be able to give that to people. I get texts all the time from my owners who are texting me, pictures of the note that somebody left on their windshield that they're like, oh, I love your car, what have you, right? And so that kind of engagement and experience is what we're trying to give our customers without all the negatives that you talked about.
Without the pain.
Yes,
the joy without the pain.
Exactly, that's the goal. Right,
okay.
Right on.
Well, thank you so much. I know
you need to drive it. You need to go faster. And once you get straight, put your foot in it a little bit. More. Oh, see, that's what's fun. Now shift.
Oh, I haven't actually driven a stick for a while.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, that is.
Isn't
awesome.
that fun?
I'm gonna get so told off.
No, I think they might want you to slow down.
Where can I sneak through? I can sneak through there, and I can do upsetting things again. Yeah.
We might get reprimanded, so just be careful.
I'll try not to get you, because you're actually from around
So now you're
here.
in third gear now. So if you want it to be in second or first or whatever you want to do. So it's not as, you still get that torque. And here's the nice thing. So here, watch this. Come to a stop. Just brake. You don't have to put in the clutch because it's not idling,
now my brain's engaged and I know, I'm driving a stick.
Now you're in that. Now you're still in second gear.
Yeah.
You can just drive this around like this. You're from a dead stop. You could be in second gear, and you could be in traffic, and you could go up to 40 or 50 miles an hour just fine like this. And so you could drive this like an automatic. If you
which
want,
is super nice if you have traffic like any city. I've driven in Austin.
Right.
It is the hell. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm glad you got to experience all that is wonderful about Austin.
Well, mainly I experienced sitting still. It's very exciting.
It's that. Well, and the nice thing is, yes, you can do this without giving your thigh an absolute workout, because you're not having to shift it. You're not having to deal with all of that. But you can. You can, put it in first and just and then you slam it. Are you in first? Yeah, there you go. Now don't let off the clutch completely. Just
sorry.
Go to the floor. Boom, right? And then you get all of that awesome electric car, torque. Rush that you get, and so it's to me it's the best of both worlds, right? Or maybe just right into
I'll just pull up over here obnoxiously for a minute. So thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Well, I hope that was enjoyable.
Oh my god, was that enjoyable? You can probably see from the footage that was enjoyable, and I love classic cars, and it's awesome. thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And this is not an advert for you.
Well, that's okay.
Although it's pretty close at this point.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for watching. We will be back with more updates from Fully Charged, or possibly not, because this is kind of the end of the day. So it depends on what order these videos go out.
Right.
But it's really been great to be here. We've really enjoyed seeing what has been available at Fully Charged USA, and we will be back with more content very soon. Thank you very much, and keep evolving. I don't think I can.
No, you're gonna wait for him?
I mean, I could.
All right.
But then I might go up there. I'm being overtaken by a car that's
I know, that doesn't even have it. It doesn't even
It's
move.
not even running.
All right, now you can go around it. Now you can do it.